Hey guys, what's up? So a lot of people have been asking me about dairy, if they can have dairy on their diets for their weight loss, dairy during prep. Is dairy good? Is dairy bad? Is it going to get in the way of getting leaner, burning fat? And the answer to that question is not so straightforward. Dairy's definitely got a bad rap the past few years. One of the main reasons is because the human species didn't really ingest dairy after childhood for many centuries. Until the agricultural revolution, humans only had dairy in childhood and not in adulthood, and we're the only species that actually consume dairy from other animals. So the argument, like Paleo Diet, people that follow Paleo, the argument that they would have is that we're not meant to digest dairy. And one fact to back that up for them is that 3/4, 75% of the whole entire world is lactose intolerant, meaning they can't digest, they're lacking the digestive enzyme called lactase that we have as babies. They lack in adulthood to digest the dairy. So a lot of people are lactose intolerant. So if you're lactose intolerant, well, there's the answer. You don't have that enzyme, and you're going to have a hard time with dairy, and I don't recommend it for you. But a lot of people in bodybuilding have always said that it thickens the skin or gives them subcutaneous water, causes inflammation. So I believe a lot of parts of the world have progressed with the gene and to accommodate the ingestion of dairy, and other parts haven't. So there's people that fall under the spectrum of lactose intolerant, and there's people that fall under the spectrum of they're fine digesting it, and then there's the in-between. Me personally, I notice that I'm not lactose intolerant. I digest dairy fine, but if I have too much, it upsets my stomach. I think pretty much anyone that has an overdose of it'll bother their digestive tract. And I do feel like, put it this way, during my prep I had no dairy, no whey protein, and afterwards I would have a lot of whey protein as dessert. And there's sweeteners in there, there's flavoring, and there's also different protein blends, so it's tough to tell the reasoning, but I definitely feel that there's a little inflammation, a little bloating, especially in the stomach. So I have friends that have dieted down and gotten into great condition, all while having Greek yogurt or cottage cheese in their diets. I personally completely keep dairy out of my prep, out of my diets. I like dairy, I like cheese, I like some milk from time to time. I like making desserts with yogurt or cottage cheese. So if I feel like having it, I have it, but it's not in my daily regimen, it's not in my daily diet. So as I said, some people, different parts of the world have adapted, have maybe, evolved with the gene to digest, and some haven't. Now, all that being said, dairy can be very nutritious. Fatty acids and micronutrients. In a cup of milk alone, you have vitamin C, vitamin D, riboflavin, B6, potassium, phosphorus, vitamin A, vitamin B1, zinc, magnesium, selenium, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not forgetting anything else, all in just one cup of milk. But what a lot of people don't know is that's whole milk, full fat milk, not skim milk, not low fat. Low fat or skim products will not give you those benefits. So a lot of people will have that to not have the fats, which are actually the fatty acids in milk are very healthy. But you all those micronutrients and those vitamins you're gonna lose when you're gonna have low fat or skim. Now moving on to grass-fed cows. Grass-fed cows are basically cows that are exactly that, fed grass rather than cornmeal or whatever unnatural foods that they feed cows in slaughterhouses. So a cage-free chicken, a grass-fed cow, it's basically the natural grazing a cow's supposed to do over an acre of land over the year and eating grass. So I think that that's very important. Now there are people that get more technical into detail and say, well, organic and is not enough. Organic grass-fed is not enough. It needs to be this, and that. I mean, ideally, you want just a cow that lived a natural life, that wasn't pumped full of antibiotics and steroids and hormones and eating unnatural foods. At the end of the day, mammals, humans and cows alike, we rid the toxins of our body through urine, feces, breath, sweat, and if we have so much toxins in our body, which these cows do, they're pumped full of them, and they can't get it out of the body, it stores in their fat cells. So any product that comes from a cow's fat cells is going to be full of those toxins. Butter, milk, yogurt, cottage cheese. So I think it's very important to have those products from a grass-fed, organic cow. And not only that, but grass-fed cows have like 400 different types of omega fatty acids. They have a lot more, a lot healthier and beneficial fatty acids and nutrients than milk or butter that would be coming from a non-grass-fed cow. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, grass-fed butter is one of the healthiest fats on the planet that you can ingest. So bottom line, to wrap it up, keep in mind humans are really the only mammals that have dairy after childhood, after being infants. We're the only mammals that consume other animals' dairy. Many of us have our digestional tracts, have the genes, or have evolved to be able to digest dairy, but 75% of us don't. So that's got to tell you something. So pick your dairy wisely if you're going to have it. Don't just have anything. Make sure, you remember the toxins, remember the grass-fed, the benefits, and pay attention to your body. See how it reacts to it. If it upsets you, if it gets you subcutaneous water or inflammation, then there's your answer. So I don't think it's so cut and dry, no, you shouldn't have dairy, or yes, you should. I think Paleo Diet is great. I think it goes back to the early humans and what we've been ingesting, digesting, and breaking down for the longest time. That being said, if you feel like having it, have it, You can follow paleo and have some dairy once in a while. I mean, it's your body, it's your choice. I don't really believe in following diets like a religion. I think that a lot of people that are so strict and so religious with the way they eat, it's more of a reflection of themselves. They're being OCD or controlling, whatever the case may be. For me, I try to stay as healthy as possible. I choose my foods wisely, but I also don't kill myself either. If I want to have something, I have it. Like about my diet sodas and stevia, I've posted a lot about, and if there's interest, I'll make a video on it. I try to have stevia instead of aspartame and artificial sweetener, but am I going to never in my life have Diet Coke again? No. If I'm in a restaurant and I don't have a bottle of stevia on me, I'll have a Diet Coke. I just won't have 2-3 Diet Cokes on a daily basis, 7 days a week. So I hope that was a little bit of information on dairy. Definitely wasn't everything. I'm sure a lot of you guys have some stuff to add in, and please do in the comments below. I hope it was informative, and until next time.